This car has to be a success for Nissan. What we're looking at here is the updated 2026 Nissan Pathfinder. And this car is competing in one of the most competitive segments in the USA. We're talking vehicles like the new Honda Pilot, which was just redone, the all-new Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade, the offerings from Toyota, Volkswagen's in the segment, Jeep is in the segment. This is such a hot area of the car space. So we're going to find out today, did Nissan do enough to the refresh 2026 Pathfinder to keep up? Now, this is still fundamentally the same vehicle as the 2025 model year, but they did do some slight changes on the outside, along with some fairly big changes on the inside to help keep it competitive. Now, the front end of this Rock Creek version, which is the off-road trim, does have some cool little features. I love the 3-nostril grille here, a classic throwback to the very first generation of Pathfinder. We have a gloss black grille with this orange emblem, and orange is the trend in the Rock Creek trim. So we see that down here on the leading edge of the bumper. But this is where things fall apart a little bit for me with the Rock Creek. So these look like they're kind of simulated tow hooks, but that just doesn't fly in an off-road vehicle, because a simulated tow hook is not going to do very well unless you've got a simulated tow strap to attach it to. And then down here, a lot of hard plastics, but not a lot of skid plating. Now, what's interesting about this segment is this used to be full of pretty much on-road only vehicles, except the Pathfinder. The original Pathfinder was incredibly capable. The second gen went to unibody. The third gen was body on frame and very capable. The fourth gen, I don't really want to talk about. And the fifth generation has brought some of that capability back, but they're still lacking a little bit behind some of the off-road trims in this segment, especially vehicles like the Grand Cherokee, where you can get real meaty recovery points in the front end. And now Hyundai and Kia are even doing that with their Palisade and Telluride. So I really wish, if Nissan is serious about offering an off-road trim, it's got to come with some of that hardware. Luckily, the wheel and tire package is some of the best in this segment. So this is a Toyo open country. Now, where most other three-row crossovers that play in this world are using what I would call a mild terrain, which is really an all-season that has a little bit of sidewall on it, maybe a little bit of tread blocking. This is actually a pretty aggressive tire. We've got really good siping in this. We've got a lot of aggressive bite on this, and it's wrapped around an 18-inch wheel, which is awesome. So no 20, no faux style wheel. Of course, well, okay, it is a faux beadlock, but what I mean by that is it's got a good size sidewall with a pretty decently small wheel in the inside. So I'm really, really happy to see that. Now, Rock Creek does have an off-road tuned suspension. Ground clearance is pretty much on par with other vehicles, and I do love this roof rack. I think this is really cool. Once again, kind of a throwback to something like the Xterra that had that little bump up in the back with the rack. I think that's a very attractive look, and it is meaty. So whereas something like some of the new Subaru products, they do have racks, but you know, they've made them stronger, but they still don't have that beefy look. This thing is stout, and it's ready for your off-road adventures, which is cool. Coming back here, I like the swept forward C-pillar. That's an attractive look. Pathfinder proudly displayed across the rear end. We've got the four-wheel drive badging, and then towing capability in the Pathfinder is up to 6,000 pounds. So pretty decent, and that's partially because of the transmission. So where the previous generation was a CVT, this current generation is a 9-speed torque converter automatic. Let's go ahead and pop open the hatch here. So we're looking at somewhere around 16 cubic feet worth of space with the third row installed. If I look underneath the cargo floor here, no spare tire there. Let's do a quick check underneath the rear end. Oop, there is a donut hiding underneath there. So I would prefer a full size, but at least they do include a donut for those emergencies back there. And folks, if you're looking at a Nissan Pathfinder and you're worried about the long-term longevity, well, that's where our friends Grainger Warranty comes in. With Grainger Warranty, you can rest assured knowing that if you plan on keeping your Pathfinder well beyond the factory warranty, they'll keep you covered, and they'll keep you covered with dealer-backed parts and technicians. So check out Grainger Warranty using the link below, and a huge thank you for them for sponsoring this video. So underneath the hood, we are going to find a V6 powertrain. 284 horsepower, 259 pound-feet of torque, It is a transverse mounted setup, not a longitudinal one, and this is a unibody construction vehicle without a low range. So I do secretly wish that Nissan would push the boundaries a little bit with the Pathfinder and give it a proper 4x4 system instead of an all-wheel drive system, but I also understand that realistically, folks are going to be using this on the road more than off the road, and they want that on-road stability and comfort that comes with independent suspension and unibody and some of those fuel savings potentially. Now, talking about that powertrain, we are seeing more and more vehicles in this segment going to hybrid, right? Of course, Highlander, quite famously a hybrid. Now Palisade and Telluride, both going to be optioned with a hybrid as available. Nissan sticking to the good old V6, which kind of like the Honda, some people just love V6s, especially over Turbo 4s, like what you're going to find in the Explorer. I think there is a group of people that they love the reliability, the durability, and the power delivery that a V6 offers. So drop me a comment below. What do you think about that? Now, powering this vehicle on, some changes for 2026. Things like standard 12.3-inch display, standard wireless CarPlay. That's huge for me. Ooh, we're fogging up here on the inside, folks. Let me go ahead and clean off this lens a little. It's really, really cold here in Tennessee, where Nissan has flown me out to check out this new Pathfinder. Full panel sunroof, newly available on the Rock Creek version. The screen, I do like Nissan's infotainment actually. I don't think it gets enough credit. It's simple, it's easy to use, and it's just as a whole, I just complimented you and now you're going so slow. There we go, come on. Well, apparently this one's moving a little slow. Typically it's not this slow, but it's very colorful too. And I really appreciate that they add some color into their infotainment. And we still do have a couple of physical knobs here. We have physical volume and track advancement. And then this is updated for 2026 too. The surround view cameras are also now higher quality. They offer that in the hood view, which is cool. We've got that 360 camera, so that's a nice addition. Although I wish it was a Rock Creek instead of this white like SV or SL there. So below here, Pathfinder now written out bold across the center, which is a little bit of a nice touch. Dual zone automatic climate control. One thing which I appreciate about Nissans is we still have physical knobs for pretty much everything. Such a highly underrated feature that not a lot of people discuss. Leather wrap steering wheel with the orange stitching here. It does have the full Nissan Pro Pilot system with the steering assist. There's a button down here. You can turn that on and off. And then you can use these buttons here to control all the different features. It's got steering assist, adaptive cruise control, emergency braking, all that. Blind spot monitoring there. You can see that in the window. We've got full complement of steering wheel controls, which is really nice. This is your fairly standard Nissan shifter now, park, reverse, neutral drive. There is a mode selector down here, so you can go from the auto mode to an eco and sport mode if you go right, along with a tow if you're planning on trailering. There is no integrated brake controller though. And then if we go left, we've got snow, we've got mud and rut, and we also have sand down here. Electronic parking brake, your electronic shifter. Don't love this, it's a little dinky. We also have a revised wireless charging tray now, 15 watts of charging through the wireless charger, which is great. Some additional cooling, 2 USB-C there, and then good size center console there. And seats, I like this neoprene material they put in the center of these seats in the Rock Creek. It gives it a really nice feeling. Let's go ahead and do a quick check of the back seat. Popping open the door here. We got captain's chairs in this particular trim, although a bench is available depending on configuration. That slides on back there. 6 feet tall. Oh, baby. We are golden on legroom. We are golden on headroom. This is a great back seat and a little bit of a stadium of seating effect too, where you look out kind of up and over the front passengers, which is great. Third zone of climate control, automatic climate control back here. Big, large cup holders in the doors. Big, large cup holders here in the center console. And it's, it's a little bit covered in black, but overall, I find this to be a really usable, durable interior, especially if you have kids. Let's go ahead and check out access to the third row. One touch operation, that's gonna glide on forward. Let's check it out back here. Well, it's certainly not as luxurious or premium as what you're gonna find like in the new Palisade. You can get power reclining second row, you can get heated third row in the Palisade. You're not gonna find that back here, but the room is okay, if not very upright, and headroom still remains good even at 6 feet tall, which is a little bit unusual in this category. But look, the Nissan is an interesting product, right? It's not the flashiest. It's not going to offer the biggest screens necessarily or the most features, but I think it's a good, solid offering that a lot of people overlook, right? Folks look at the Pilot, they say, oh, I love that it still has a V6 and a torque converter automatic. Nissan, right? They still offer it too, and if you can get this at a good price, I don't know pricing yet for 2026 Pathfinder, it hasn't been announced, but if you can get a good deal on this car, I really think there's a lot of kind of just durability, long-term value here. I wish it was more rugged. I wish they gave it that cool iVTM4 like Nissan or Honda uses, or some kind of torque vectoring rear diff. That's a little bit of a bummer on the Pathfinder. It does okay, but they could push it a little bit further. I wish it had tow hooks. I wish it had more underbody protection, but I still think it's a good, solid offering if you're looking for a 3-row crossover. I just wish it had a hybrid option, more off-road features than the Rock Creek. Yeah, those are my 2 big complaints. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. This has been Tommy. Head over to alltfl.com. We got more videos for you coming soon.